Hi, everybody, and welcome to Ministry Mondays with Meg. I'm Meg. I am Reverend Meg Biddle, and I serve as the National Coordinator for Ministry Life here at ABHMS. And as you'll notice today, I don't have a guest. Normally, I have a fantastic guest to share their ministry and their joy that they find in ministry with you all. But I decided that today I would share my own story. And I hope nobody minds. So here we go. I am from a small town in the great state of Indiana called Hope. I grew up in the middle of a cornfield and graduated with a class of, I think, 52 people. I grew up in an American Baptist church there in Hope and was surrounded by some really great people. Our church was pretty conservative. And so when I got a call to ministry at age 17, I didn't really know what to do with it. I got that call when I was at camp, Southeastern Baptist Youth Camp. I loved going there. I was on staff for 2 summers. There, I know that I heard the voice of the Spirit whisper the word grace, and that word was for me. But I spent so much time trying to understand a call. When you're a woman in a conservative church, where women don't preach, where the men take up the offering, where your men are deacons, where women get the 5th Sunday in the evening service. So there was a whole lot there that I just didn't understand and didn't really have anybody to guide me through it all. So I went to college. I made it 3/4 of a semester. I dropped out. I came home. I met my husband. We got married. Had a baby. And then I knew I had to do something other than, like work at McDonald's. I didn't want my kid going to career day and saying, Mom worked at the McDonald's, or Mom, does this. Not that there's anything wrong with working at McDonald's, but I knew that there was something out there for me. And so I became a nurse. And that satisfied a need for a while. And then I decided I was going to go back to school, finish my bachelor's degree, but I knew it wasn't going to be in nursing. It was something that I did, but it wasn't who I was. And so I was in an adult program at Anderson University and organizational leadership. And with each teacher, we had to go around the room and introduce ourselves and say what we were going to do. And usually, I just gave a silly answer like, I'm going to be queen of the world. Except one section that we started. I said, hi, I'm Meg. And when I finish my degree, I'm going to seminary. Okay. And, everyone in the room was like, you are? Okay, I guess I am, And so then I had to go home and tell my husband this. And my husband grew up in the Indiana Fellowship of Regular Baptist Churches, which was even more conservative than the church that I grew up in. And he was okay with it. He had no problem with it. He has supported me through my journey. And I ended up going to Anderson University School of Theology, which is a Wesleyan holiness school. And there was a place for me there. It didn't matter that I grew up Baptist. I tried to be Church of God, Wesleyan holiness, but how much Baptist can you take out of the girl? I tried. It didn't work for me. But there was still a place for me there. And really, for me, that was the beginning of being able to redevelop my theology, to learn what it was that I really believed. And so I finished seminary at Anderson. In the midst of that, we ended up moving several times. And a dear friend of mine introduced me to Dr. Dan Cash, who is the pastor at First Baptist Church in Columbus, Indiana. And Dan graciously became my mentor and helped me understand what ministry really is. That ministry is sometimes getting the chairs ready before Bible study. A ministry is sweeping the floor and sitting with people in their homes. Yeah, you get to preach and things like that, but that's all gravy compared to these things that you get to do. So I learned from Dan, and I was called to serve in upstate New York at a little church in the middle of nowhere. And I was there for 3 years as their first woman pastor, and I really didn't want to screw it up. But I know I probably did. I know I made mistakes, but I also know I did good things there as well. They just couldn't sustain a pastor full-time long term. And so I made the decision to leave. I moved to a federated church in the Great Rivers region in Illinois, and I served there. And I also, at the same time, was serving as the chaplain at Blackburn Community College. And I found so much joy in serving in chaplaincy at the college. Those kids, those young adults, were so much fun. They really were. We did everything from host adult Easter egg hunts. And yeah, we included kids too, to just making cookies and muffins and hanging out. And I really appreciated it. It meant a lot to me. And then, burnout is a real thing, and it's hard to admit. But I was burnt out, and that was the truth. And it's really hard to admit it, because burnout to me feels like failure. But it is what it is. I didn't do those things that we should do, like take care of ourselves. All those things that they tell you in the book. I didn't do them. I should have. I had met Sarah Strassel-Kagi and Erica Van Brakel and many of my colleagues that I now call friends at a Connect gathering that ABHMS held in up near Chicago. And I had no idea what meeting these people would mean for my future. But this opening in the ministry life department showed up, and I went, I think I'm going to apply for that. Talk to my family, because, it would mean yet another move. But they were phenomenal. It was actually my daughter's senior year. And, the way COVID all ended up going, she really didn't miss her senior year in Illinois like it could have been. So we moved to King of Prussia. I took the job serving in ministry life. And I've been here for the last 2.5 years. I've been married to my husband, Andy, for 24 years. We have 3 great kids. Our oldest is 23, and he's an adult with autism. And one of the things I hope that the church somehow figures out is a way to work with people that have disabilities. We need to do a better job. We need to do a better job of taking care of our clergy too. But let's be an inclusive place. Let's be a place where everyone is welcome, where there is a place truly for everyone, where it doesn't matter if someone needs to stand up and pace, or they make noise during the sermon, or a woman needs to breastfeed her child, or the baby cries, or a kid's running up and down the aisles, the area, wherever. That's my dream, is to find a place that's like that. I also have a child that is 19 and in college, and my youngest is 12. And, that's one of the reasons that moving to this ministry, to working as the national coordinator of ministry life, was important to me because, fishbowl living is hard. It's really hard for those kids. And especially, when you get into that teenager mode and you're trying to figure out your own life, and everyone is paying attention to every single thing you do, it's hard. So this works for our family. Pastoring is hard. It's also wonderful. I have had the honor of officiating 40 funerals in my time in ministry. I've had the honor of officiating, I believe, 6 weddings in that time as well. And there was joy in the weddings and joy in the funerals. And so if you want to know why I do this, why Ministry Mondays with Meg, it is simply this. It is that I have learned in my life that Satan is a liar and a thief and wants nothing more than to steal our joy. And so that's why I have Ministry Mondays. It's a place where I can offer a space for those serving in ministry to come, for them to share about their ministries, and for them to share their joy, where they find joy in everything that they do. I had no idea when I started this that it would work out the way it has. But it's honestly my most favorite part about my job is sitting here on Mondays or whatever day of the week it ends up being and asking everyone the question, in all that you do, where do you find your joy? My answer is Ministry Mondays with Meg. That's where I find my joy, and not because it just shares my name, but because it does that. It's just a place It's a place for people to share about ministry, especially ministry that goes beyond the pulpit. I want people to understand, that ministry isn't just in the church. That's not the idea anyway. God didn't call us to build buildings. That ministry happens in places like soup kitchens, in the hello and the smile and the caring about our neighbor. And yes, it happens in big organized things too, like building homes and homeless shelters and things like that. But it also happens in the everyday, in the small things that we do as well. So that's why I'm here, and that's who I am. And so for this 20th episode, I thought I would just give you a little glimpse, a little explanation of who I was and what I do, and to say thank you to those of you who have watched, to those of you who support my friends and colleagues in ministry, and to welcome you all, to say thank you for being a part of this. And I look forward to the next shows and to what God's going to do. I no longer have to justify my call. I learned that a long time ago. I was called. I simply am. And, I'm just grateful that by the grace of God, I am loved in spite of who I am and because of who I am. And that grace abounds for every one of us. So if you have a story to tell, reach out to me. A ministry that goes beyond the walls of the church. You can send me an email, and I'd love to talk to you and have the opportunity to share your ministry with others. I'm grateful for each and every one of you for being a part of mine and supporting all of my guests, past and those yet to come. Again, thank you. You can catch Ministry Mondays with Meg here, wherever you're watching now. So you can catch us at ABHMS Facebook page, at Judson Press Facebook page, or you can catch us at our YouTube channel for ABHMS. Sorry. And I'm grateful to ABHMS for this opportunity to share, and the opportunity to find myself once again and be this person who God has called me to be. And I'm looking forward to the journey ahead. So I thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.